Obviously, you were really good in that counseling session. You were open and not afraid to discuss issues. What's it been like for you being here at Pendleton?
It's been weird being here. It's just you get locked up. It's a whole different experience in the real world. So
How,
it's just
how could you explain it to somebody who's never been locked up?
it's not the place to be. It's not fun it's not fun of any sort. It's just not the place to be.
So what'd you do that got you locked up?
Stole Grand Theft Auto, stole stuff. My biggest problem in life is just stealing things, touching things that don't belong to me.
Really?
hmm
So when did that start? Can you remember?
When I was 13, it started when I met a girl. Then I started running away. I got in a gang and went on from there. Then the gang had me do things, so just stealing cars.
You know, it's funny. Just look at you. Nobody'd ever guess in a million years.
A lot of people tell me that.
Really?
Uh huh.
Do you believe that?
I believe it. It's just I didn't grow up with my parents. I grew up with my grandparents, so I didn't know what to do. They didn't really teach me how to do things, so I had to learn on my own. Learn what was right from wrong from doing it. Cause
So were you just surrounded by a lot of kids in the neighborhood?
they, I'm more of a leader on the outs than a follower, and in here I'm more of a leader too. I do things and I can what's the word I'm looking for? I condemn other people to do them with me and just go from there. So
So what kind of kid would you describe yourself when you were on the outs? What were you like when you were out?
uh, I like to do things. I don't like to be in the house all day. I like to go out and do things. Really, sometimes not the right thing. But since I've been locked up the past 2 years, I've learned fully what's right from wrong, what not to do and what to do.
Were you surprised when you got sentenced to Department of Correction?
I knew it was coming. I just pushed my luck because the time before I got locked from coming to DOC, I got locked up and they said you're on your way to DOC. I just looked at them and laughed like they were a joke. So, and then I stole some cars. I went out and stole some cars, and that's finally when they decided, yeah, you're going to the DOC.
So explain to me what your what's going through your mind when you decide to steal cars. I mean, what possesses somebody to just want to go steal cars?
Well, I was walking with my friend, and I was going through a car for a pack of cigarettes because I liked to smoke at the time, and I found a set of keys, and then I just put the key. I looked for the car and found the car that it went to, and I started it up, and I just started driving it. And then I drove it till it ran out of gas, and then I just kept going. And I don't know. It wasn't really exciting. It was just, I don't know how to explain it.
So was that it? Grand Theft Auto? Were there any drug charges or
Yeah, I
anything?
had one drug charge for marijuana and methadone pills, but
So do you remember when you started getting interested in drugs and all?
yeah, when I was 13. A friend introduced me to him, and I did him. Alcohol is really more my thing. That's what I do. Alcohol. I don't really like unless I'm at a party or something. I'll do weed, but I don't. It's not like I'm addicted to it and I go buy it or whatever all the time.
So what did kind of a life of drugs and crime when you were a teenager, would that do for you? I mean, did you just not care and figure I'm going to do what I
hmm
want to do?
I'm just the type of person that if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. Nobody's gonna talk me out of doing it. If I'm really gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. I'm the type of person that I don't like being told what to do. So
You know, a lot of people would say, "Yeah, I didn't like being told what to do either,
hmm
but I didn't steal cars."
yeah, but yeah, I've learned not to do it, and I've learned where it's gonna get me. You're gonna get caught eventually, so there's really no point in doing it.
You say your grandparents pretty much raised you.
Since I was 8.5 months old, they did.
Do you know where your parents are?
No, my dad, he could walk through the door right now, and I wouldn't have any idea that was him. And my mom, she tries to be there for me, but she really doesn't. She was gonna try to actually have me come home and stay with her, but she doesn't have the money for it. So,
So you're gonna go back to your grandma?
yep, my grandparents. So,
I've talked to a lot of kids who
hmm
live with their grandparents. Do you guys talk about that? Your family situations?
yeah, I talk about it with people all the time. Really, just a lot of people I've talked to in here, the J3s, the juveniles, they relate to me on it. They don't know their mom or their dad, so I kind of relate to a lot of people on that.
That's a big part of it with a lot of
hmm
kids that we've met over the past 10 years.
I think it's better for me not knowing my dad than like if I would have grew up to the age 13, then he would have walked out. I think it's better for me not knowing him at all.
Because you don't
So,
know any different.
yeah, exactly. So,
Does that make you think about what kind of adult and what kind of parent you want to be someday?
the kind of parent I'm gonna be is I'm gonna be there for my child. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna walk out, because if you're gonna get somebody pregnant, you should think before you do it. You know that you're gonna have to be there if you have a kid or whatever. That's immature really to me, not to be there for your kid. That's not right for them.
How hard do you think it is to break the cycle of life that you've sort of lived? Because we've had a lot of
Oh
kids
yeah.
say, "Man, I'm scared to go back home."
I'm scared. It's gonna be real hard for me because I've been locked up so long. This is really what I know right here. Get up in the morning, same old thing, do this at this time. When I get out, I'm not gonna have to worry about that. It's just I'm gonna be able to do what I want. It's gonna be tempting. It's really tempting, especially the people that's in my life. They're gonna be trying to, yeah, come do this drug, come to this party, get drunk with us. I'm gonna have to say no. It's gonna be hard, and they're gonna look at me like, mm, that's not cool. And I'm gonna look at them like, well, if you've been where I've been, you'll see why. So.
Would you talk to your old friends about what it's been like on the inside to maybe get them to understand?
Oh yeah, of course. Especially my friend, my partner in crime, when I was doing Still in the Cars. He's out there. He's 20 now. He was 16 when I was locked up. He's 20 now. He's on his way to prison. Hopefully I can get out and tell him, look, man, you need to quit doing this type of stuff. Cause I was in juvenile prison, and you definitely don't want to go there. So to men's prison.
Is it harder than you thought it would be initially?
Oh yeah, I thought it was just because my juvenile in my town in Columbus, Indiana, it's there's no fights really. You just sit there all day and that's it. But here, you look at somebody the wrong way, you have to worry you get in a fight or whatever. And if you get in a fight with one type of person, you get jumped or whatever, and just.
You know, we've talked to a lot of kids inside who, when I said, what's your biggest fear about being here, or when you first got here, what scared you the most, and almost everybody said being jumped.
I've been jumped a couple of times, but I'm not scared of it. Of course, I don't want it, but if it happens, it happens. But I usually don't put myself in that position to get that done to me though.
How do you stay out of trouble on the inside? Because that's the other thing we've heard is, look, I got to defend myself, but then when you defend yourself, you get dropped levels.
Yep.
That keeps you here longer. How do you stay out of trouble inside?
You got to choose who you talk to. Like if you talk to certain people, you know if you get real cool with them, when they get in a fight, they're gonna expect you to be their up and jump person. So really, you just gotta, like if I'm trying to go home, for example, I gotta talk to other people that's trying to go home too, not people that's like, F it, I don't care, that type of thing. Like Seg ain't nothing to me. Them type of people, you just don't associate with certain people if you know they're trouble. You gotta stay away from them.
That's a good point. Kind of hanging with the guys who are at the same level you are. Because I would imagine there are a lot of kids that want to bring other kids down.
They're what you call haters. When they find out you go home, if you don't have respect, they'll jump you or whatever, beat you up before you go home. So.
Have you spent any time in SAG?
Yeah, when I first got here, I was in SAG. The first 3 months I was here, I was perfect. Then after that, they wouldn't let me go home when they were supposed to, so I started acting up. I was in SAG quite a bit. It's not fun at all.
Yeah, we filmed a lot.
Yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun.
What would you want to say to other kids we have a lot of younger viewers who watch these shows, who are out there gangbanging, 13, 14 years old, they think they're cool, trying to, be a part of a family. What would you say to them now that you've been through what you've been through?
Well, I used to be a gang member, and sometimes you have to do things that you don't necessarily want to do, and if you don't do them, you get beat up, and here on the outs, you get killed. It's not what you want really. It's not cool, because later on down the road you get up to a certain part of the gang, you have to kill people. It's just one of the things you got to do, and it's not cool.
I've asked this question a lot. How do you ever get out of a gang once you're in?
Well, there's a certain thing you got to do once you get to a certain rank in a gang. It's called folding your flag. You do that. That when you get a certain rank, you can do that. That's what a lot of people do.
Explain what folding your flag is.
You say, well, if you're in here, what I did was, you're given a prayer. You know how you pray to Jesus or whatever. You sit down, you close your eyes, and you say a prayer to get out of it. That's what you do. On the outs though, you would take whatever gang you were in, Vice Lord, IG, whatever. You would take a blue or red flag and fold it so many times and say a prayer. But in here, you just say the prayer, just a prayer.
So then, okay, on the outs, you went out of your gang, you fold your flag.
Hmm.
They just let you out?
No, you might have to worry about somebody trying to find you and trying to kill you, but most of the time, so many people want to join a gang, they just go get another person to replace you, so it's really nothing to them.
Is it really that easy to recruit kids to be?
It's real easy because kids they think they don't know nothing. They never grew up in a hood or whatever, and they want to be in a gang. So they come from the country or whatever. Yeah, I want to be a gang member. It sounds cool. Then when they get into it, 2 or 3 months later, they find out they got to do a whole bunch of things, beat people up, fight people. It's not cool.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So, you're actually in a pretty good mood because you've got some pretty good news. Tell us what's
Yeah.
coming up for you.
I'm getting ready to leave. I've been here 6 months at Pendleton. I'm going home on the 31st. That's Monday. This coming Monday. I'm really happy about it because it's not fun to be here. It's hard. It's actually hard to get out really because you got to worry about people messing with you and stuff like that. But I got respect, so I really don't have to worry about that because what I've been through in the past with people.
How did you gain respect? I noticed that in
Just fighting people. When I first got here, I told people no, I don't want to fight. Then they told me I couldn't go home. So people was like, because most people they come here and they use the excuse I'm trying to go home, when really they know they're not getting ready to go home no time soon. They're just scared to fight somebody. I fought the biggest and the baddest people, and after about the sixth person I fought, people was like, oh, he'll fight you. Don't mess with him. So.
And then it was easier for you to do your program.
Yep, because they knew not. Because if they know that you're gonna do something, even sometimes people, they're called snitches. They get beat up for snitching. If somebody knows somebody's gonna snitch, they won't mess with them. And then very, very rarely, if somebody snitches on somebody, they'll get beat up just as bad for something. So yeah.
It's like a whole world all itself.
Yeah, it's just a whole new world in here, different than the outside.
So what are you most excited about when you get out?
Getting a new car, and my driver's license.
So tell me where you're going to go live once you're out and what your plans are.
I'm going to live with my grandparents. My plan is to get a job, get new friends, a girlfriend maybe, and just get a good paying job and stay away from stuff that's going to get me locked up. Because my next step is prison. That's where I almost went this time, but they decided to send me here. So stay away from that type of stuff.
So do you feel like in a way you were sort of given a second chance by not?
Oh yeah, I've been given many chances. This is my second chance before prison. So yeah.
So in total you've been locked up 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years.
6 months here at Pendleton.
Uh-huh.
And before that?
I was at the facility Logansport for a long time, and a facility in Fort Wayne called Northeast. I was there.
So people probably don't realize you guys end up kind of jumping around.
Yeah, we go all over the place. We can go to South Bend, Camp Summit, which is, I don't know where that's at, but it's a long ways away from Indiana. And then there's a boys' school in Bloomington. It's closed down, I think, though.
So have you made what you would consider any friends inside here? Tell me about any relationships you guys form with each other, since you're all kind of going through the same thing.
Really, the biggest relationship that's hardest to get is a white person with a black person, because there's a lot of racial stuff going on in here, because there's white supremacists and stuff like that, just racial stuff going on. But me, I get along with everybody, really. I'm easy to get along with, so.
Yeah, I remember in group they were talking about there were some racial issues.
Uh-huh.
And somebody said, I don't know if it was you, they said, keep the troublemakers down in
Yeah,
SAG.
keep them in SAG, because they're going to get beat up, because really, whenever white people go against black people being locked up, they don't usually win in the juvenile system. So when they have racial riots or whatever.
So I would imagine a lot of times there's just kind of a few troublemakers on any given unit who can upset the entire...
Oh yeah, one person can disrupt the whole tranquility.
That's interesting. So what would you want to say to people on the outside who think, they drive by here and they go, oh, Pendleton, bunch of throwaway kids, no good kids.
Most of the kids in here, they get out and they do good. Some of them, they come back. Some people that I'm here with right now, they've been here, this is their third or fourth time being here. Some of them, they just don't care. They don't have no family really in life. They don't have nothing to look forward to in life, so they say, screw it, what's it being locked up another year or two? What's going back to me? I don't have nothing to lose. But me, I have my grandparents in my life, so it's good for me.
What do you think anybody could do to help kids before they got to this point? Anything?
Well, really, the only thing you can do is talk to them and show them what it's like, or tell them what it's like. Explain to them, yeah, this happens, you don't want to do this. My cousin, actually, he just got sentenced to boys' school. He's in Logansport facility right now getting ready to come to boys' school, so.
Do you think that it also comes down to parents or grandparents or
Oh, yeah,
brothers and sisters?
It has a lot to do with the type of family setting you were raised in, because me, I was raised with no father. I don't know my father. I don't know him at all. And my mother, she tried to be there occasionally on Christmases or whatever, but she just couldn't. She didn't do a good job. So, yeah.
And that has to affect you.
It does greatly, because I think if I had my mom and dad in my life, my dad could show me, yeah, take me places and do things. I wouldn't have to commit crimes to have fun or whatever.
Because I've found that with a lot of kids, I just feel like they had a big piece of their childhood missing.
It's really weird if you don't have your mom and dad, to me. But my grandparents, they've tried their best to be there and take their spot, even though they're older and whatnot.
Oh, good for them.
But they've done a good job, though. They have.
Any final words you want to say about, what it's been like for you, what your hopes are for your future, what people should know?
It's been a great experience for me being locked up. When I get out, I can tell people, yeah, you think it's cool. You're trying to get locked up. It's really not. And my future is don't be locked up for the rest of my life. Do something good with my life.
Well, when we try and track you down in a year, I hope that's exactly the way it is.
All right.
You'll be out and doing well.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. Great interview. Great interview. Well.
Oh.
I just want to double check.
You got our license?
Yeah.
Ian Abram.
Hello.
Hi, how you?
Hi, come on in. So you're here to pick up Adam, huh?
Sure are.
Well, he's anxiously awaiting. Well, you can just go ahead and sign in here. You give you a pen.
I need the license. Yeah, this is the day we've been waiting for. Hi. No, last time I ever walked in there, and in these places, we're in the pencil.
He's in the visiting room waiting for you.
How you been doing?
Good. Did you guys have a safe trip up?
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get here?
Well, no, takes it a little over an hour, but we always were like.
Well, he said he saw you out in the parking lot a little while ago. Were you guys early? Because I said, no, they're not here yet. He said, yes, they are. I saw them out there. Yeah, I said, well, they must be sitting in the car. It sure does.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's early. Especially when it comes down.
Yes, they're here to pick them up. Yeah. It's, yeah.
If I have to sign this, I gotta have a pencil.
Yes, she needs a pen.
Thank
He's being discharged. You know that, right?
Thank you. Oh, sorry.
And then, go ahead.
So go ahead and talk for me real quick, just so I get a
So
little.
my name's Adam.
My name's Adam Cameron. I'm 18. I'm leaving today, going home.
Look at that smile.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
You good? Okay, Adam. The last time we were here, you were in your unit and you were
Mhm.
talking about going home.
Yep.
Tell me what today is for you.
It's been a day I've been waiting on for a very long time. It's a very happy day for me. I didn't think the day would be coming for a long time, but it's finally here. It feels real good.
So, in just a little while, you're going to actually officially go through your graduation
Mhm.
ceremony.
Yep.
Tell me what you're expecting out of the ceremony today.
I don't really know what I'm expecting. I just know that I'm happy it's here, and I don't know what it's really like. I've never done it before, but I know it's gonna be exciting, though. I know that for sure.
So tell me who's coming to pick you up today,
My grandma and my grandpa.
and can you tell me what's going through your mind as you're getting ready to see them? You have not seen them yet, right? Tell me about
No,
whether
I
or not you've seen them.
I haven't seen them for about 2 weeks now. So they usually came up here every weekend to see me. So it's not like it's been a long time since I haven't seen them.
So tell me how important your grandparents are to you.
They're very important to me. They're like my mom and dad, actually. They've had me ever since I was 8.5 months old. So they're like my mom and dad that I never had, really.
So they're going to be here to share your graduation day with you. What is it that you want them to know about the time that you've spent here at Pendleton?
That I've learned a lot from my actions, what I did to get locked up. That I know what I did was wrong, and that I've learned from it not to do it again, not to do anything really that's wrong. So
A lot of people on the outside might think, I wonder if he can really make it.
I've got to make it this time, because instead of months, I'll be getting years since I'm getting discharged. So I'll be across the street, and I really don't want that. It doesn't sound like fun to me.
What's across the street for people?
The prison, the men's prison, Pendleton men's prison. That's where I almost went this time, actually, but they went ahead and just sent me here. So
And tell me again what brought you to Pendleton.
stealing, Grand Theft Auto, stealing cars. I stole cars. Actually, a whole bunch of things, but mostly just stealing cars.
So, what's it like going through the juvenile justice system, going in front of judges, being locked up, wearing the jumpsuit?
It's very stressful. It's not fun. It's mostly stressful. You get stressed out. You get tired of it. You're like, when's the day gonna come? They're gonna let me out. After you get locked up for a long time, you begin to think, man, I wish I wouldn't have done what I did. It wasn't even worth it doing all this time.
What do you think your actions did to your grandparents and having them watch you go through all this?
It broke their heart. I could tell by the looks on their faces when they came to see me every time, all the time, that they were heartbroken. That's what they even told me, that they were heartbroken.
Because they feel like they failed.
Yeah, they feel like they failed. Really did. They tried to raise me, but I just, sometimes I even told them sometimes they just tried too hard, really. So I appreciate them for trying and everything, but I feel that they tried too hard sometimes.
So why do you think you've learned, now that you've been behind Pendleton bars, why do you think you've learned? What made you learn inside here that you didn't learn on the outside?
That the actions, people telling me what to do, how to do it, when to do it, where to do it, why. Just being told what to do really 24/7. When I can go to sleep, when I have to wake up, that sort of thing. When I can eat, when I have to use the restroom, things like that. There's no freedom whatsoever, really. So that's why.
So it makes you realize how important freedom actually is.
Yeah, it sure does.
So what's the first thing you want to say to your grandparents when you walk out that front door?
That I love them. And that they probably thought this day wasn't gonna come for a long time for me.
And it has.
Yep, it sure has.
Any final words before you change out of that jumpsuit?
It's gonna feel weird. I've been wearing this for 2 years. Not this same exact one, but one similar to it. So it's gonna be weird to wear normal clothes.
If we try to catch up with you, say 6 months from now, what do you think your life will be? What would we see if we came to see
Oh,
you?
a much happier person, even though I'm happy right now, probably with a good paying job, a girlfriend, maybe kids. I don't know. I don't know about that though. That's I don't know. Just with a good life. Do it crime free for sure. No crime, no doing bad things. Doing the good thing, what's right.
Think you can do it?
Oh yeah, I know I can do it because I've done it before. I don't know. I've had jobs before and I got fired from them. I know I can do it. It's gonna be stressful for me to do something new, but I know I can do it though.
Are you concerned at all about going back into your old sort of environment, old friends?
Just a little bit, because I know there's gonna be people, come do this with us, come get high with us, come get drunk. No, I can't even do it, man. They're gonna say why. I'd be like, if you was where I was at, you would know why. That's all I gotta say.
And you think you have enough power in you to resist those temptations?
Because I've done it before, like marijuana, smoking weed. I told no. People try to get me to do that, and I told them no. Really, the only thing I did was alcohol. So I know I can resist it all. If I can resist one thing, I can resist the other. So.
Well, good luck getting back into street clothes and
All right.
being free.
Thank you.
So, Grandpa, I know we just talked to Adam, and he's so excited to get out of here and see both of you. Tell me how you feel right now before you go in to get him.
This is the day he's been waiting for.
Yeah,
Been waiting for this day for a long time.
yeah, yeah. I hope it does some good for him up here, you know. We couldn't do nothing with him.
Tell me how hard it is, you know, to be a grandparent raising a young teenager. That can't be easy.
Yeah, I know.
No.
We've had him ever since he was 8 months old.
No, it's been pretty difficult, but it's worth it.
So he's really more like your child than he is your grandchild.
Yeah.
Tell me about that, what that's like for you.
Well, it wasn't actually any different than raising our own kid. Only he created a lot more problems.
Here. So what's your hope for Adam now that today's leaving day?
That he'll get his GED, get a driver's license, and lead a productive life. We're getting old and we're not gonna be able to take care of him forever, so we want him to be able to function on his own.
How hard has it been for you seeing him locked up?
Very hard.
How's it been for you, sir? I know he adores you. How hard's it been for you to see?
Well, it hit me pretty hard there for a while, but you know, you kind of get over it a little bit. But, it's been pretty rough. I really missed him, you know, she did too.
But what an amazing job you did. He said you came to visit him regularly. What would you tell other grandparents who are raising grandkids and having a tough time doing it? What advice do you have for other grandparents? What advice do you have for other grandparents? We know there's lots of grandparents who are taking care of their grandkids, and the grandkids are getting in trouble. What advice would you have for other grandparents who are having a difficult time with their teenage grandchildren?
To do a lot of praying.
Yeah, I don't know, there's so many of them anymore and everything, you know, and so much dope and all this stuff on the streets, and alcohol and everything, you know, it's hard to get around it. But it's really hard to get around it, I mean, you know, at all.
A lot different than when you were a kid, isn't it?
Oh, you never heard tell that stuff when I was a kid.
I never even heard of marijuana and that stuff till like 1970. I never. When they started talking about it, I didn't know what they were talking about. I grew up in a small town, and you didn't hear of anything like that.
Well, drugs, alcohol, and gangs seem to be the 3 really tough things for these kids to stay away from.
Yeah,
And I think they don't realize how fast it can escalate.
yeah, I know.
You know, they think they're sort of invincible at this age. And so, well, any final words you want to say? Tell me how you're feeling before you go back in there.
Do we have to go back in there with him?
Yeah, you'll meet him back in the visiting room.
Okay.
Well, it'll be good to see him
Yeah.
walking out the door.
Hope it holds up, you know.
We do too.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Are you excited, young man?
Huh?
Are you excited?
I guess.
You guess.
Yeah, he'll be all right, I think, now. After he did some time. Pretty hard on us running up back and forth up here once or twice a week.
Oh, I know, sir. Absolutely. Those kids don't think that.
We
While
did.
they're getting punished, so are you.
Yeah, I know.
They don't think about the big picture.
Hello. We're Sharon.
Not today.
Looks good.
Hi, bud.
Hey.
Hey. So good to see you.
Yep.
No.
How you
Ready to
doing?
go home?
Uh-huh. I've been ready for a long time.
Yeah, it's the last time I want to be in one of these places.
It's gonna be the last time. Unless you get locked up.
I'm not gonna let you get me locked up. There's your clothes.
All right. Where I go at the change room?
Right there.
All right, if you can sign it right there. Oh, I'm sorry, down here. And verify that that's your address.
I can't hardly write today. My hand is shaking.
He has, well, no, he'll have to sign it there. She'll, oh, signature of staff, that's mine. Whoops, I messed up.
Oh, you're
I'm sorry.
fine. That's
Will you
fine.
sign?
Did I get your job?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Telling you the wrong place to sign, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's it, just you need to sign it. Okay, and then we'll get him to sign it, verifying that's where he's going, and then we got some paperwork for him. So, this is his medical information and discharge paperwork. Okay, so you'll need that. And then I'll have a certificate that I'll present to him when he comes out.
He won't be on parole or anything.
No, he's been discharged.
Too small. My
Okay.
clothes are too small.
Your clothes are too small.
Yes.
Well, what happened?
I've gotten bigger, I guess.
Well,
Look at the-
can't you put them on and pull your shirt down over it?
No, I can't.
You're gonna have to.
No, I'm
You
not.
want to wear that out? Are you sure you can't?
No, these are too tight.
Well-
I just
Go try. I don't
just
want you
did
to-
try.
We'll have, okay. We'll just get you a pair of sweatpants, because that way you won't be wearing that. So, Eldrick, can you call or
Yes.
see what
Yeah, I
you
don't
can get up with a
wanna
pair of
walk in it.
sweatpants?
Want to walk with me down here to the laundry real quick?
Yeah.
Well,
I got shorts on. I got a pair of shorts on.
I mean, if that's what you want to leave in, that's fine, but, I mean, we'll get you a pair of
Yeah, we'll get
sweatpants.
you sweatpants and sweatshirt.
Just, we'll leave them out there, you can go get them, yeah. Do you have a shirt? You can just wear your white, okay, just get him a pair of sweatpants, that's it, yeah. Do you have socks and everything else though that you can change into? Okay, well, while you're standing here, Adam, I'm gonna present you with the certificate, okay? It says that you have successfully completed the Pendleton Juvenile Correctional Facility program, okay? So congratulations.
Neither one.
Oh.
She's
Oh.
I hope that didn't involve
No, no.
We go wear home.
Are you happier than I am?
What you gonna wear home?
Huh? Or give me somewhere to work.
He's the only one waiting that.
Well, we had somebody leave a little bit earlier. They had to come a little bit earlier this morning, so there was two of them, so. Adam, can you sign this real quick and verify that this is where you're going to?
That's where you're going, right?
Thank you.
So what's the first thing somebody does when they finally get released? What do you?
I don't know what most people do, but I'm going to. Because I haven't ate all day. They say
This Kentucky fried chicken. Well,
buffet is more than
the nearest place I know with a buffet, the Shed.
Just did an extra.
He wants buffet. Listen to him. He wants as
We
much.
didn't eat Kentucky Fried Chicken and eat it on the way there.
Let's not get carried away.
Everybody always says food. They want real food.
They eat inside, they understand.
There you go, some sweatpants. Okay, there you go.
Well, that really doesn't have to walk out there. Although I think he just wants to go. He doesn't care what he's wearing anymore.
I care, I ain't gonna take him in anywhere with that uniform on. No way.
Not taking him to the buffet with the uniform on.
No, I'm not.
So yeah.
I'm definitely not proud of that.
So yeah, what do you? He's excited about food and getting out of here. How do you feel? This is the first time he's going to be back in your house for a while.
Hey, hand me the sack of clothes. The sack of clothes.
And you what?
The sack of clothes.
Sack of clothes.
Could you have them send up to the visiting room so I can have them sign this real quick? You got a pen on you?
This has been what Donna was talking about.
They're gonna come to his house up in the visiting room. Tell him, you know how he, just remind him about how he was videotaped for, when the movie first aired. It's a relief for him, so that he can be on TV. Ask him if he's okay with signing it. I mean, don't force it, but if he's okay to be on TV. You have to sign it, date that. Thanks. They're gonna call him up to the visiting room. Thanks, Albert.
Here, I'll get it.
I'm not sure, Elder cannot get a hold of anybody now. But Stephanie talked to them like 3 times last week. No?
Yeah, he says he wants food. How do you guys feel about the, first day having him back? Is it a little nerve-wracking?
I was getting a little,
Well,
Probably
it's gonna
will
be
be.
different.
getting a little paranoid. Oh, no, I didn't
Yeah,
think it.
we've been
They're
for
not
seven
allowed.
for almost 2 years.
That's right.
I know.
Last time he was
But
in your house, he was
Stephanie talked to
16.
them like 3 times last
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
And now Elder can't get a hold of anybody.
He'll
Yeah.
do fine.
Yeah.
He'll do fine.
I don't know.
I believe he will this time.
Well, the other thing is they know now that they're 18, and if they get in trouble, it's no longer the juvenile system.
Yeah.
They're adults now.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll just wear this.
What?
These are tight shoes.
Well, they put them in the trash bag. There's a trash bag around here. Where's that trash bag? I guess you have one.
You dropped the sock at him.
Yeah.
You can go with them shorts on, with you.
Yes,
I guess so.
And they're doing a CBT training right now, so you might wanna go.
What's
in there.
wrong with them other pants?
Huh?
What's wrong with them other sweatpants I just got in?
I don't know.
Well, you've got everything you need.
What is the certificate I
Right here.
Does she have it? You got it?
have? No, that's not it.
Did you put it in there?
What is it?
I gave it to you.
What is
I have
that?
It's-
Certificate?
No, it's not.
It's in that envelope there, Adam.
What is it?
The one I gave him,
Oh.
that said that he completed the program. This one, that looked like.
Wasn't that it?
Well, I don't know. I thought.
No.
That's his discharge paperwork. Did you get it?
Adam, you ain't been that far. You
I
couldn't.
know, I was like, did you let it go?
What's this, Adam? This
That's
is what
his
you're talking about
discharge
right here?
paperwork.
That what
That's
you're
not what
talking
he's
about?
looking for. It's a,
I don't know what happened.
Let me make sure it didn't get put underneath my stuff here.
Oh.
No?
You didn't put it in that trash bag there a while ago, did you?
Ah, here it is, right here.
Oh, you folded it
Yeah, I
up?
folded it up.
There, you dropped part of it again or something there.
I'll hang on to this. Like I say, it's important. Keep them
All right.
Well, I guess
Okay.
that's it.
Well, you're free to go.
All right. Peace out.
Okay, who gets this thing here?
Oh, he's got a microphone on, so.
They're
Oh.
still, they're still.
Do you want,
Here, let
you
me
want them
take
to
that out
that
for
off?
you. Yeah, you probably don't want to take that home, do you?
I don't know, I think I could get some money out of it.
I wouldn't. Well, that's it, Adam. We'll just keep calling you for like the next 2 years, okay? You can keep the microphone. We'll just keep coming back to visit you. Your grandma and grandpa have been a trooper here. We'll grab this. Okay, I'll put that in my pocket somewhere here. So I don't lose it. And we'll button you up.